Hello, Advanced Computer Science AB students. Welcome to what I think is the first video I've made for you guys. So I hope you are loving your snow day. So what I'd like to do is get us started moving forward into the next unit we're going to cover. So I think it's going to take a couple of videos, but here under second quarter, there's a Resizing Array tab, and that's what we're going to be focusing on. So we'll come back and look at this page, but this first video, the main assignment of this unit is that you're going to be writing your own array list. So hence the name, My Array List. So in the first video, I kind of want to go back and really delve into ArrayList a little bit more and review ArrayList a little bit and look at the underlying structure. And then in hopefully the next video, I'll talk about what you're going to need to do to implement your own ArrayList, write your own program using the shellcode. Okay, so I have a couple examples. So this first one, I have an array list of strings I created, and I'm adding things to the array list, and I'm adding something at index 0, I'm removing, I'm setting, so I'm changing one element, and I'm printing the array list out. So I will just compile and run this. And so just a reminder here of the things I can do with an array list, the syntax for creating it, how I put the type of thing I'm going to be putting in the array list here. I can add things to the array list, I can remove, I can set, which is our replace. So just starting to remember some of the methods, some of the things we can do with our array list, and that when I print the array list, I get these brackets and the elements are separated by commas. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 elements in the end in this array list. So we can look at a couple of our reference materials here. So last year in AP Computer Science A, we had this quick reference guide. And down here was all our syntax. And I think we mainly focused on using the comments to remind us what the method does, what it returns, that kind of thing. And so this capital E actually stands for element, and so it's the element type that's in the array list. So in my example that I just had with Yoda, that list and array list was holding strings. So when I'm looking at the reference guide, in my mind, I'm replacing all these capital E's with the word string. So I know that the get method returns a string, the set method gets a string here, and it also returns a string. The remove method gets an index, and it returns the string of the thing I removed. So we were using this in terms of that. So maybe we glossed over a little bit, maybe not, the fact that the array list was what we were working with here, but that we were implementing that array list itself implements a list. And so sometimes we had the interface over here, and sometimes you may have seen it like this. So you can see it either way. Either I make a straight up array list this way, or I make a generic list here and then a specific array list here. All right, so not too concerned about that difference, but what we do want to consider a lot now is the fact that ArrayList is implementing list, and that much of this, or all of this actually, all these methods we get come from the fact that ArrayList implements list. So you'll notice up here, this is the interface. So these are all the methods in the interface. And because ArrayList implements that list, ArrayList, remember when you implement an interface, you agree to write a bunch of methods. So ArrayList class agreed to write all these methods. So we can go over here and see in the list interface, indeed we can see all those methods and more. All these things, when ArrayList agreed to implement the list interface, it agreed to write all these methods. So there's more. We can see the add there and the other add there. It also agrees to write an equals method, a get, we know. Here's the set, a size, a remove. Here's our removes. So all those methods that we associate with an array list really come from the fact that it chose to implement a list interface. Okay, so that's a piece of information we want to keep in our mind. And so what we'll find throughout the year is that there are other collections besides ArrayList that also implement list. And what's nice is we're so familiar with these methods that anybody else who implements list, we kind of have a good idea of how to use it, right? So we want to keep that in our mind, because when you write your own array list, you're going to be implementing an interface. And so you want to remember that that means you're agreeing to write certain things. Okay, so we talked about this generic element type a little bit, and we talked about the fact that we're implementing an interface. So back to that capital E element type here, that allows my array list to be a little more general, right, and more robust, because it doesn't just handle strings. I can make an array list of integers, and I can put integers in them. And so we're going to see now how we can write, when you write your array list, you're going to need a way, yours is going to work the same way. And so we're going to need some sort of generic, any type here that's going to represent whether it's an integer or a string. So we'll see how that works, but keep that in the back of your mind. So this one, this example, creates an integer array list. It loads it with 25 random numbers between 1 and 100. Then it prints the array list, the 25 elements. It prints the size of the array list. Then it gets 2 items from the array list, one at index 12, one at index 15. It compares them, and then it's going to go through the list and remove. So we're going to use this example for some other things, but first I want to remind you that because ArrayList can only store objects, that even when I want to store integers, I'm storing that wrapper class integer object. And to really be, we want to be careful when integer is an object. We want to use compare to rather than greater than and less than. So with my string example, we would know that, right? That if I got 2 elements out and I wanted to know who came first, to use compare to. But we sometimes forget with this capital I integer type that really we should be doing the same thing. X is, yes, an integer value, but it's an object context, and so we really should use compare to and dot equals when comparing those items. So that's the first reminder from this one. The next one is we're going to kind of use this example. So you can see here, here's the 25 random numbers it generated. Here's the size, 25, and here is the 2 elements. So at index 12 it grabbed a 43, at index 15 it grabbed a 71, and then this next message using compare to printed out who was less than whom. So if I run it a couple times, here I get the randomly generated values. One is now greater than the other, and so each time we'll get some different values that are at index 12 and 15 because they are randomly generated. So we're going to go through the debugger, and I'm going to show you how you can use the debugger to see about the underlying structure of this array list, because it's really not fancy, right? Array list is just an object context. And so I hit the stop sign, I hit the bug, I'm going to step through, and I've now created nums. Here it is over here. If I right click on it, I can say view by value, And my viewer window's over here, but I'm going to move it to where you can see it. And so here it just says size is 0 for now, and mod count, whatever that is. I'm not sure yet. And I'm going to step through a little bit. So here I start adding things, right? I'm getting ready to add my first random number, and I add it. And look at this. So what we have here is the underlying structure of an array list is just a regular old bracket bracket old school array. And once I add the first element, it actually creates an array of size 10. And so I'm only using one variable, one of the boxes, one of the containers of that 10 item array, and I've put the random number 84 into it. So as I step through this loop, adding these 25 numbers, here I go, I'm going to get up to 10, but I'm adding 25 things. So after I reach this 10 element limit, when I go to add the next thing, it actually increases the capacity of the array. So I can keep adding things. And I'm getting ready to add another thing. And let's see how it increases capacity this time. It added another 6 things. Okay. Well, I'm still not going to have enough for my 25 things. So, did I add it yet? Here, we added it again. Oh, this time it added 10. So you can see that this bracket bracket array is increasing in size. And so at this point I'm using index 0 to 24 for my 25 elements. And these other array values are just unused. And you can see the size here is 25. And then I go through and I do my get. And in this while loop, I'm going to start removing the things. And I'm just going to keep removing at index 0 until the size is gone. And so we're going to see these items getting removed as I keep stepping in. And you can see that all the elements are getting pulled back because I'm going to remove the 62 and then the 52 and then the 65 and the other 65. And so elements are getting shifted back, as we know they do in an array list. Everybody gets a new index when I remove from a different index. But I still have this array of size 32. So I can keep removing. I can remove them all, and then after I move the last one, the size won't be bigger than 0, and I'll stop removing. What I mostly want you to get from this is, one, how to visually look at an array list or even a string value. You can also use the canvas to do it, and it'll be a similar layout than this, but using the debugger. It's kind of nice to visually see things being added and deleted. The second thing I want you to realize is that underlying the array list is just an old school bracket bracket array. It's nothing fancy, but it is keeping track of the size. And so now we can see right now that I have 32 elements, right? And I'm going to go ahead and step through and remove the last element. And now size is 0, which is not greater than 0, so I hit the end of main and I leave. Now we knew after this while loop, it still had an array of 32 boxes. But the way the array list works is that if I try to get even something at index 1, right, I'm going to get an out of bounds exception. So keep in mind that even though at this point that array list nums has 32 boxes, it knows that they're all empty, meaning we're not using any of them. So it's using some variable size to keep track of which indexes you're allowed to access. So just because I have 32 boxes doesn't mean you can access them. It has to do, you can access them when you've added things. You can access things when the size is bigger than 0. And you can only access up to size -1, right? Okay, so I think that was a good reminder of ArrayList. I think we kind of talked about everything in the underlying structure. And the next video I'm going to talk about the shell code and how that kind of fits with some of the things we talked about in this video. So I will see you in the next video.